Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera Hashgraph, or Hbar. So I know that I've talked to you guys a lot about, possibly Hbar flipping Bitcoin and, even Ethereum at some point in time, right? And I still do believe that. In fact, as we're talking more so about the future of this space, I've always discussed Web 3.0, tokenization, transactional data flows. We will get to a point where a DLT technology, right, is going to be at the #1 spot in this market. A lot of people laugh now. A lot of people love to laugh. They're a Bitcoin maxi, they're Ethereum maxi, whatever the case may be. They all laugh. They don't see the bigger picture here. And I'm a visionary to the heart, and I've always told you guys that I'm a visionary. Looking at a lot of these assets like XRP, I could see the visionary standpoint there on what their end goal is. I've always looked at things like ALGO, I looked at Stellar, I looked at all these other assets. It's the main focus point on pretty much seeing the end goal here. And Hbar is one of those assets that is severely overlooked. I don't need to tell you guys that. You already know that. I've talked to you guys about that so many times on this channel. But today we're going to be talking about how do we get there, the transactional data flows. We're going to be talking about revenue base points as well for all that stuff. But sit back, relax, and if you guys are new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. Turn notifications on. If you guys aren't new, doesn't matter, right? Hit that like button, as it does help the channel grow immensely, and I do greatly appreciate it. Now, before we fully jump into this video, if you guys are interested in the Ultimate Crusader Trading Bundle Pack, which includes all my exit plans, everything that is on this website, as well as all future content for free, definitely look into getting it now, because I'm having a flash sale on it for 20% off, or $20 off. This is pretty much a once in a lifetime opportunity, because this is only lasting for 1 week. I do plan on having more sales as we do, range on. I might do a deeper sale, just real quick. For anybody who is waiting for a deeper sale, I might do about, possibly 40% off here soon for Black Friday. But nonetheless, let's move on. So check this out. So this sounds like Hbar, right? Because what they're talking about in this video, and we're going to be listening to it very, very closely, is pretty much leaning towards everything that Hbar is focused on. Listen closely.
I also asked Ken about another of Elon's favorite topics, that is cryptocurrencies. Here's Ken's take on the future of Bitcoin.
I think we're going to see Bitcoin be replaced conceptually by the Ethereums, replaced conceptually by the next generation cryptocurrencies that will have the benefits of higher transaction speeds, lower cost per transaction. Perhaps people will start to think about how to deal with security and fraud prevention better.
So you're not worried you missed it?
No.
You're not worried you missed the train?
I'm not worried about that.
You think the train's actually going to go the opposite way?
I think the train is, in some sense, still in the station. I think we're still trying to understand, if we want to hit this world of decentralized finance, and we want a payment system that's low cost and effective, is it going to be solved by the crypto community, or is it going to be solved, for example, by
a digital dollar? Now, listen, okay? He's not worried about missing the train on on Bitcoin. Of course not, right? Who cares about Bitcoin? Whatever. He's more so talking about Bitcoin being replaced. Okay, and it's a concept on, Bitcoin essentially being outscaled by, one, not only efficiency, but also two, sustainability. I don't think a lot of people are looking at sustainability seriously, but, a lot of governments and a lot of areas around the world are taking sustainability very seriously. If you are not green, you are out. Hbar is the greenest technology in the space. It is carbon negative. It is the fastest, the lowest cost per transaction, the highest grade security measurements with ABFT, Asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance is the biggest key to this puzzle, because he's talking about solving fraud and security problems. Guess what solves that? Hedera Hashgraph. Not only is Hedera Hashgraph solving that problem, but they're also solving the higher transactional speed problem, the lower cost per transaction. This is the most scalable DLT that we have ever seen in the history of crypto. Third generation technology. What do you think is going to replace Bitcoin and Ethereum? Okay, you can't say XRP, you can't say this, you can't say that, because when we're looking at most of these assets, okay, yeah, sure, they're going to pretty much jump over them in market cap and essentially outscale them. But what is going to replace these two assets? It has to be Hedera Hashgraph. And the reason why I say it has to be Hedera Hashgraph is because it is the third generation technology. It is not blockchain technology. It is not proof of work. It's not proof of service. Okay, or proof of stake, sorry. Okay. they are opening the doors for so many use cases, so many more possibilities that were never accounted for on Ethereum because of the high grade fees and the sustainability problems. Now we also see here, if you own Hbar now, then you bought before big companies like Google and IBM went live on the Hedera mainnet. And a lot of people will laugh, a lot of people will say, yeah, whatever. But this is the truth, right? We have a GC member, list that's comprised of top tier companies that are building on Hedera Hashgraph, and they haven't gone live yet. Just imagine when we do see Google go live with something, maybe with cloud computing, or IBM with something pretty interesting with AI or cloud blockchain again, or just the Internet of Value, something like that, right? But I'm excited to see what comes out of this, right? I'm excited to see what comes out of all of these massive GC members, and when that actually happens, a lot of people will still continue to laugh until their asset is lapped. And we will get to that point. Now we do see here, Hedera is really going to redefine what scale is. There will be so many transactions on Hedera daily that will just stop keeping account. It will be many times more utilized than Google search engine and email. Now with this, we're talking more so about this, okay? And now this is talking about, just from 20 clients alone, we will get to 1 billion transactions per month in a few years. Okay, and I don't think that's going to take a few years, very conservative in my opinion, and I do completely agree with Barbarian here. In regards to this, okay, 1 billion transactions per month, just so you guys know, is $100,000 in base revenue going off of this transaction fee alone. Okay, at $1 billion, or at 1 billion, transactions per, month, you're not getting anywhere in terms of revenue. It's not even an accomplishment at that point. If you want to see massive scale, you're going to be looking at about 1 billion transactions per day. Okay, say for so the average, days in a month is 30. That's 30 billion transactions per month. Okay, that at scale, okay, is $3 million per month, which again is a fairly small figure number if you actually look at things logically. But we will get there very fast, in my opinion, because I think things happen sooner than expected for a lot of people. And I think that this is one of those statements that are going to pretty much rein into that possibility as well, where it's going to happen sooner than expected. Now we also see here that they're talking about the ecosystem growth in terms of grants and all that kind of stuff. And of course they're talking about staking and pricing and all that kind of stuff for, the grant program and all that kind of stuff that's been happening, pretty much lately. And of course we do see somebody saying, 700 million transactions a day and conservative. So that's around 8,000 transactions per second, I think. Overall, listen, if we're talking about where most people's numbers are and, where we will get to essentially at some point in time, I'm very excited, to say the least, for Hbar working at scale. We haven't seen anything. This is a new asset still. This is 2 years in the making. Okay? Just imagine when it's, 5 years in the making. Or even just next year. Just wait until you see the things that are going to be happening in 2022 alone. All right? Now, within Hbar, we also see, 3 crypto moonshots to get ahead of the next big thing, right? Now, this goes back to October 29th, and they're talking about tokenization, and of course, Hbar is the leading name. It's actually the first one. Perhaps the most undervalued or underrated cryptocurrency in the world is Hedera, a project adopted by no fewer than 23 major organizations, including Google, IBM, and Tata Communications, and we already know that this is a huge asset. Okay? Don't be surprised if this cryptocurrency reaches $5 in the future. I've always said, we could see $5 this bull run. I think that a lot of people need to pay attention to tokenization, because tokenization is taken over very fast. This goes back to October 28th. PayU Token Hub will help card networks and banks with tokenization. Asset tokenization versus traditional financial instruments funding the future. Okay, tokenization is a process of transfer, and of course, we already know there are still issues with tokenization, especially when it comes to regulation. However, it is a win-win for investments, once the current hurdles are overcome. And again, we're going to be talking about, tokenization of asset classes. I've discussed that, we could essentially be tokenizing, the future stock exchange. I've always said that. Okay, when we're talking about tokenization of commodities, equities, bonds, all that kind of stuff, that's massive money. All right, and it needs to be efficient, and it needs to be green. Needs to be secure, stable. What do you think provides that? All right, it's not Bitcoin. Secure? I mean, come on. Cheap? Come on. Sustainable? No. Scalable? No. It's HBAR. Okay? You know, a lot of these other assets like XRP and stuff are focused on other things. They're not focused on what HBAR is trying to focus on. HBAR is building the future in front of our faces, and not a lot of people are talking about it besides, you know, a select few. Myself, and you know, as one of them. And of course, we also see here the DTCC brings tokenization to the mainstream with upcoming DSM platform. And again, of course, they will initially interface with the public Ethereum network, but will incorporate additional public and private blockchain support based on client and market demand. Of course, they'll probably see that Ethereum is not good for scalability, factors, and of course, they'll probably run into problems. Now, we do see here that DCM is leveraging a cloud-based architecture to enable the book entry record keeping of securities, as well as support the burgeoning digital asset ecosystem by providing the option to create tokenized representations of a security. I mean, who knows what this could actually lead to, but we know that at current scale, Hedera is already tokenizing securities with LCX. They already have plans to do that. So, will this be a big waste of time? Probably not, but I'm just saying this is still huge innovation in terms of tokenization. Again, the coming disruption over card tokenization. Everything is happening at a rapid pace, especially in terms of finance and tokenization. And of course, we do see here Goldman Sachs boost tokenization efforts with new partnership. Understand what is happening. As we continue to build out our tokenization capabilities, we need solutions that could rapidly capture the full complexity and diversity of assets at the heart of our business for both digitally native or tokenized traditional assets and be interoperable across multiple blockchains. Okay, what just happened with Hashport? Made it interoperable across multiple blockchains. Again, this could easily be Hedera Hashgraph if they chose it. Now, I'm not saying that they're choosing, and I'm not speculating that they are. I'm just saying tokenization is at a rapid pace right now. Okay, and of course, we do see a Reddit plans to tokenize Karma Points, adds 500 million new crypto users. We even see over here, right? Customers can reload Starbucks card with Bitcoin and Ethereum as coffee house explores tokenizing stars. I've already talked to you guys about this. This is huge. Okay, and then we also see the growth of tokenization. At a 14.47% CAGR, tokenization market size is expected to reach 6,312.81 million, which is not that big of a market just yet. But trust me, as we do march forward on in time, tokenization is going to take over at a rapid pace. It's going to flow through all of these massive markets, and it's going to be an astronomical market. And the leading name for it is going to be Hbar in my mind, because at the first glance, they're doing everything in their mindset to be a tokenized giant in the space. And even they're seeing it in this article as well. They're seeing Hbar being a leading name in terms of tokenization. I don't need to tell you guys that. I've already done so many videos on Hbar talking about tokenization and how they are going to lead the way. They are focused on everything that they need to be focused on in order to capture a large percentage of this market. And when we're talking about 1 billion transactions per month, yeah, good joke, mans. I understand, you're trying to keep things conservative, but I think that that's severely conservative for what's about to happen in the future for Hbar. But with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night, wherever you guys are. And it's beautiful. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.